Skip through it. Okay, cool. We are live. Awesome. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining. Let's see who's in the live chat first. We got a great show tonight. Now I finally got everything all figured out. We got 8 people already watching. Thank you guys so much. I do want to let you guys know I am going to be monitoring the live chat tonight, as always, because there is a little bit of a delay. So I'm going to make sure that I recognize everybody in the chat. If you could do me a favor as you're coming in, smash the thumbs up button and follow us here. We are live on Rumble. That will help us out immensely because it gets us up into a Rumble algorithm, I'm guessing, and more people can watch this podcast. And as always, once we're done with this podcast, it will be uploaded usually on a Saturday or Sunday after the live stream is done. So you guys are still watching on YouTube, they can see us touch stuff because we're on Rumble. That means we could hold guns. We can hold a ton of guns. I got a good friend of mine coming on the show tonight. So I see Jen Cham Jr. He's out there. He's first. So as we're still kind of letting people come on in, please do me a favor. Again, smash the thumbs up and follow us on Rumble if you already haven't. But let's start this show off right. Alrighty, what is crack-a-lackin', everybody? Thank you for joining the Shooting in the Woods podcast. This is episode 218 here on Shooting Gallery. We are live on Rumble because I was tired of YouTube pulling their dirty business because I want to be able to do this and not be censored. That is the Kit Kat bill. We'll show that off in a second. But thank you guys so much for watching. It means so much to me since we can't really do channel memberships here on Rumble. If you are, we're doing this live because YouTube won't let us hold guns, and it's going to be a lot easier. It's, you know, the live streaming on YouTube is always starting to kind of derail the channel. So we're trying to grow it on both platforms. That's why we're here now live on Rumble. If you are following us from YouTube, please do me a favor, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member over on YouTube. It's $2.99 a month. You get early access content. And also check out the affiliates and blog post link in the description. That's where you can help support the channel by going to places like Brownells, Palmetto State Armory, Tandem Cross, Goom Beam. Obviously, we all know I love my Goom Beams. Okay, look at that. Streamlight TRL1 clone. It is awesome. I just put out a video on YouTube on this. Rumble hasn't brought everything over completely yet. We're still working on that. But we thank you all for watching. We got a lot of people out there. We got my buddy DLD After Dark. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. We got Hank Strange out there in the chat. We got VOMOA. What's going on, dude? Thank you for joining. This second time I see you out in the chat. I really appreciate you coming by. Jim Champs out there. Safety Haba Firearms is out in the chat. What's up, Walter? And or Bossman. If you guys haven't heard, I work for Safety Harbor Firearms, so you know it's pretty cool. We got 28 people out in the chat. That is awesome. This is why we moved to Rumble, guys. Thank you guys so much. Please smash the thumbs up. I see Come Out in PLA is out in the chat. What's going on? Yes, it is a squeaky Kit Kat Dark. It is, but this gun is the shit. Plus, I haven't shot it since I put the Timney Alpha trigger in there with the bronze blade to match the burnt bronze slide, which makes it look like a Kit Kat. So, guys, let's first, we got to pay the bills. So let's thank the people that make this show possible. Guys, this podcast is sponsored by the amazing people over at Aegis Gun Care. Aegis Gun Care, I've been saying it for years, is the leader in firearms cleaning, lubrication, and solutions. It's a two-part system. You guys have been hearing it forever. I love Aegis Gun Care. This is the cleaner. It gets all your carbon off your firearms. It doesn't have a smell, and it's non-toxic. Then you follow it up with their special lubricant. We call it Joe Juice here on the Shooting in the Woods podcast. This stuff is amazing. It prevents rust. It lubricates your firearms. It does a ton of amazing qualities, you guys. I cannot stress enough how much I love Aegis Gun Care. They also have cleaning kits available. This is their field kit. You get everything from 22 up till 45. You can get patches, you can get hats, merchandise, and even some pretty cool cleaning mats. If you do me a favor and go over to Aegis Gun Care and use code JOJUICE, you will save 10% off your entire order. And we thank Aegis Gun Care so much for sponsoring today's podcast. Again, as always, guys, use code JOJUICE for 10% off your entire order. This is the Joe Juice itself. Best stuff in the world you can use to clean your guns. And I'm not just saying that because they sponsor the show. I've been using Aegis Gun Care for years, and I absolutely love it and believe in the product. Next up is the person that made the dream of the Kit Kat build come alive. That is obviously it's SCT Manufacturing. From our friends at Brownells, we bought all this stuff from Brownells, but let's check out and thank Liberty Bell Firearms for signing on for the show. Guys, this podcast is sponsored by Liberty Bell Firearms. Liberty Bell Firearms is the Cerakote of choice here on the channel. They did the Kit Kat build, paint on the frame. This is the SCT frame. Everything we built over from Brownells parts. I said, man, I want this to look like a Kit Kat wrapper. He did it. This is awesome. The video is not doing it justice. He not only did the logo, but he did the pins, controls, all different colors, extremely custom. And he also offers laser stippling on things like AR-15 grips, laser engraving as well for metal parts, say your slide, frame, 1911 grip panels. Guys, if you want to get some really cool designs done or get some stuff Cerakoted, please check out Liberty Bell Firearms. They're offering the listeners of this podcast 20% off by using code JOJUICE. We thank Liberty Bell Firearms for sponsoring today's podcast. As always, thank you so much to Liberty Bell Firearms for sponsoring Shooting this podcast. Don't forget, use code JOJUICE for Cerakote or laser stippling, 20% off. That's probably one of the biggest discount codes that we have for the channel and the podcast. So, as you guys know, I am a huge fan of it. He knocked this out of a park. The red is just the deep red. It's awesome. And yes, Dark, it is squeaky, because I haven't probably lubricated this yet. But without further ado, let's bring on the man that is probably one of the reasons and inspired me to do my channel and is one of the many people that inspired me to start this channel and the podcast. I am happy to call him a friend. And since I moved forward, we've actually been able to hang out a little bit more now. So let's bring on the man, the myth, the legend, the Mohawk wearing man himself, Hank Mother Effin Strange.
Booyaka, booyaka. What's up, Joe? Check it out, man.
Look at that. We can hold guns.
I brought out the AUG just for you, buddy.
Is that the AUG that you've never shot?
I shot it. You are on a video with me shooting it.
I know, but there wasn't there
officially.
Yeah.
Yes,
well, have you officially shot it? Because wasn't there an AUG that you were like, oh, I've had it. I've actually never shot it.
Yeah, you were in the video right now. That video is going to come out probably in the next couple of days. But you're in the video where I'm shooting it for the first time.
I was? Oh, I didn't know I was in that part. Because I know I was like we were all shooting all different types.
Yeah, we didn't do a specific. Right, we didn't do a specific first time shooting it, but we did. Remember, we did an AUG video where everyone had fake AUGs or nylogs or however.
They're nylogs. They're printed out of carbon fiber nylon.
Not really fake. I mean, they're real guns.
Yeah, they're real AUGs. I think it's a really interesting idea. I'm not really big on the 3D printing community. I think if they come up with some awesome stuff. And they some of the designs are so innovative. I'm just not I'm not good at I'm not proficient enough with 3D printing to where I'm going to print a full firearm because I was like, oh, I'd like to do a Glock one day or let's do this but like when it comes to rifles, that's where I'm like I would blow myself up. But it's still super cool what they're doing.
Yeah, 3D printing is not as easy as it looks, right? Like I don't really do it that much either. One of my kids is into it, but it's like any other skill out there. You can't just go buy a 3D printer and now you're you're making guns, you got to learn how to do it and do it right.
Well,
So.
yes and no. Nowadays, if you get, especially if you like start with like the Bamboo Labs products, like the
Mm-hmm.
P1P or the X1 Carbon, those are pretty much you plug it in and you just hit
Mm-hmm.
print. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's really easy. Like I have just a regular Ender 3 with a couple different modifications on it, and I still
Mm-hmm.
have to level the bed every time I make any print. So it all depends on what printer you have. I see Kurt, Kurt 24 is out in the chat.
A
What's
lot of
going
dudes
on?
out there.
Yeah,
Shout out to
oh my,
everyone.
yeah, we are,
DOD, Walter's out there.
yeah, boss man. We have
Yeah, lots of
27
Gen
people
Champ.
watching.
Yeah. By the way, if you guys want to support Joe, okay, you go to Brownells and you use the code Hank10. No, it's actually Strange 10.
I was
Use
gonna
the
say
code.
I've used your code many times when I buy stuff on
I'm just.
Brownhouse.
Did you ever get a code from Brownells?
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
okay. Oh, damn it. Okay, we gotta talk to Brownells about that, man.
Here's the
Joe
thing.
Juice, Joe Juice 10. Brownells.
Pete
Come on.
Brownell would hear that discount code and he'd be like, "Who is this kid?" Like absolutely. I
Yeah,
don't know. I've never met Pete Brownell. He seems like a
right.
super cool dude, but I
Nice
feel
guy.
like he'd sit in his office and he'd read that code and be like, "What?
I
What
don't
is
think so.
this?"
It's just Joe Juice. That's all.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
it looks
I can
like
just imagine.
DLD is
Uh,
saying that he's updated his entire merch shop, and DLD Hardware now offers 4XL on everything. Well, my man, I'm going to be buying a T-shirt come payday, so I appreciate
okay.
that. You always got to support the big boys. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so what's been going on with you, man?
Um.
You have been killing it for years, obviously, with the podcast. If you guys haven't checked out Hank, go follow him on Player, because that's where the Who Moved My Freedom podcast is hosted
Yep.
live pretty much every Monday right now. Every once in a while you pop up for like hey, we're doing a Thursday show with Palmetto State Armory, and
Yeah. Yeah.
then obviously follow him on YouTube, Hank
Yeah.
Strange, Who Moved My Freedom.
Right. Yeah. I'm everywhere. The podcast is Who Moved My Freedom on YouTube. If you want to see it, we don't go live there. Like you were saying, YouTube is against that. And then I've seen in the last few weeks, I think they've actually. So in the beginning of that policy where you can't hold guns on YouTube, I think
Yep.
they just went after a select few people, me included, and kind of like basically froze my YouTube channel. But now I see they're going after other people. So
Yeah, because I've seen
yeah.
many times before where I've seen certain channels, whether they're over 1 million subscribers or some
Mhm.
are in like the 30,000 subscriber mark,
Mhm.
they're picking up guns on a live stream. I'm like, dude, no, you
Mhm.
can't do that. And it's like they had no idea at
Well, if
all.
they don't go after you, and I believe that they have people who are doing it versus the algorithm doing it.
Yeah, because if I
So if
want
they,
to show off this PSA dagger on a live stream, just
Mhm.
going like this within 10 seconds, which happened when I had 2AEDU on a couple weeks back,
Mhm.
uh, we did the
Yeah.
ad for Liberty Bell Firearms, and the algorithm thought I was picking a gun up on a live stream, but it was a pre-recorded. Remove the stream. I can't get it back. I lost the appeal, everything. So,
Okay, so it was pre-recorded and the algorithm on YouTube picked it up.
yep.
Okay, so they've switched over to people, to not people, but the bots or whatever are doing it, and that's why it's kicking up for everyone now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It's crazy. But you just hit, for those who have not been listening to the Who Move and Freedom podcast. You a
Mhm.
couple months back just hit 1,000 episodes. Like that.
Yeah.
That's
In the begin,
crazy.
I think was that in the beginning of the year. I don't
Yeah,
know. I
that had to
haven't
be
done.
right around Christmas time. Right,
Yeah,
Christmas time to between Christmas
yeah,
and New Year's, you had to hit about 1,000
yeah.
episodes. Actually,
That's
no.
right.
It was actually right before IV88, right around IV88.
I don't. It's a blur to me.
I
You
know
were
that's
you were probably on there, right? Did we
I
do a?
was. There was a lot of
Okay.
people on there. A lot of people
Right.
on there
Yeah.
when I went, and I
Yeah.
was like, there's too much bandwidth being taken up. I will dip out. I am blessed to be on, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
man. That
always I always like hanging out with you, man. And now are we Florida bros? I
yeah,
don't know what the hell.
you're like
Florida bros.
3 hours north, but
Yeah.
like
You're in
you're a
Florida,
straight
man.
yeah, you're straight up I-75
Yeah.
now.
You
It's
live on the schlong now, okay?
yeah,
You
I
live
do.
on the schlong.
I know. Last time you were on the show, which I looked back,
Yeah.
last time you were on the show was probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago, which was
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, we got to get Hank back on. But
Yeah.
what is it? Well, how does that feel being? You might not consider yourself an OG, but especially when it came to like gun podcasts,
Hmm.
you were one of the guys, you know, there was a couple of like a few other
Yeah, I'm not
people.
the original. So like I way back, damn, I don't even know how long ago that was. So to me, the original gun podcasters were Talking Lead,
Yep,
right?
Talking Lead, and
And
We Like
Talking Lead,
Shooting.
and We Like Shooting, yeah. And both of them are still out there and still doing it. And so I think I've been on Talking Lead at least once or twice, something like that. And We Like Shooting, I was on there all the time actually. And that is like what motivated me to do this. And when I finally started doing it, we were just, man, I think we were going to do 7 days a week, and Lola vetoed that.
So she's the vice president with veto powers.
Oh yeah. Oh, Lola has all the powers. So we decided to do. We were doing 5 days a week back in the days, if you remember that. So
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah,
I remember when
yeah.
you were doing it at a place that shall not be named, and
Right,
you had
right.
a whole studio. You had the studio, then you had another studio like right
Hmm.
down the street, and then you
Hmm.
were like, "I'm doing the van thing." So like, I'm doing everything from a van, which
Yeah.
it's kind of cool because you literally just you took everything and you're like, "Hey, this is mine now. I'm not paying rent at any studio. I'm not doing any of that," which is
Hmm.
kind of cool. And the fact that you literally don't have to go anywhere, you just walk out your house into your van and do your thing. Like
Yeah.
that
Well, and
that's
then
awesome.
also I could do it on the road. Like, the van life kicked up for me during COVID. And this allows me to go on the road, and I could really do this show and then the van stuff and all
Yeah.
that from the road. So
I remember you had like an empty van one time and you did a podcast with I think Roy was on. It was right when they announced the BRN 9 millimeter upper.
could
Uh
be.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
just
Is
like
that the electric van?
yeah, it was the electric
Oh,
fan.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jen Champ Jr. said, "We Like Shooting stream actually got uh, pulled on Monday for some BS, which I'm guessing they probably were showing a gun or something like that." But yeah,
Yeah. I
so
mean,
even
I
We Like
heard that.
Shooting's getting pulled.
Yeah. I'm part of the Firearms Radio Network. So shout out to everyone on there. I don't know if you're on there or not,
No, I'm
but
not.
uh,
No,
yeah.
I've asked, and
Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
actually,
okay. Yeah.
granted, it was a long time ago.
Okay.
I've had Sean on the podcast. We've
Yeah.
met him. He's really cool.
Hmm.
Um, but so But like, how does that like back to the question? Like, how does that feel knowing that like you're one of the say top three, and you've
Hmm.
reached that 1,000 episode hurdle? Like,
Hmm.
you've had some great conversations with some really great people.
Hmm.
Sometimes it got you know not spicy, but like it all depends on the guest,
It got
obviously.
spicy sometimes.
Sometimes, sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but like as you look back, like where are you at now? Whether you're like, wow, I would never change a thing, or
Hmm.
would you be like, I wouldn't change this for the world.
I think it all happened the way it was supposed to happen. When I do something, I tend to overdo it, when I'm into it. And that's how we got to that thousand episode mark. I think just being a podcaster alone, if you get to 1,000 episodes, is a big deal, much less doing it in the gun world. And I didn't do it on my own. There's a lot of folks that came on, including yourself. There were regular people coming on. Lots of big, gun stars were coming on. We can't get those guys on as much nowadays just because we're not on YouTube. So
They
therefore,
won't
there's
even, yeah, they
yeah,
won't even answer my DM or emails.
yes,
That's
but
why I'm
I don't blame
focused.
them. I don't blame them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it took a lot, man. It was a lot of money. It was a lot of effort. Obviously Lola is my wife and my partner in all of this, but also Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms, and then Babyface P. Those are like the main regular guys, and then you have you and Dark and John Crump and Flying Rich and Hoff, the Hoffmeister, when he was out there, was a
R.I.P.
regular. Yeah, yeah.
R.I.P.
So I didn't do it on my own. I did it because we were a community, and that's really what I wanted and why I did it and why I still do it, because this is like the real community. We're not, I don't think any of us are big gun YouTubers really, but we are gun guys. We all come from our own point of views, and we're all real about this shit. And we all get together and support each other. And then the people out there, the real big part of it, like how we've got Jen Champ and other folks that are in the chat here. Those guys are the core, the nucleus of what we do, right? The people who listen to all of us that are doing this. So
Yeah,
it's
and I see Kurt 24 out there. He's been literally one
yeah.
of the uh guys that listens to everybody's shows, one of the super
Yep.
supportive. Come out in PLA,
Hmm.
DLD
Yep.
After Dark. Everyone's having a
Yep.
massive like, hey, how can we get a P1P conversation in the chat? I'm like, okay, here, okay, the 3D printing has
Yeah.
started now.
Yeah.
But
But that's the thing. Like without the community, that's the whole. That's the to me the thing the part of it that I'm the most proud of, right? Like we are genuinely a community.
oh
We
yeah,
genuinely help each other, lift each other up, push each other forward, support, celebrate each other, all that kind of stuff. And so like it's awesome, right? It's that thing that I could go, yeah, I'm the most prolific. I don't think anyone else has hit 1,000 episodes yet. Um,
yeah,
you know,
like
but.
that's just like I can't imagine getting into 1,000 episodes. Like I love doing this show every
Mhm.
week. That's why I did.
Mhm.
That's why I never wanted to stop. And that's when hey, I
Mhm.
missed being able to do this. When I
Right.
first started, we could do this on YouTube.
Yeah.
I could show stuff, and now it's like hey, a lot of people are starting to leave YouTube for Play or Rumble, wherever they're
Mhm.
starting to stream, and it it's making podcasting fun again for me personally. It's because we can talk
Yeah.
about it. But I do
Yeah.
want to bring something up because
Sure.
I know people that are listening to this in the after the
Mhm.
live stream. Right now, I
Mhm.
do want to just point out we got
Mhm.
31 people watching.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Make sure you're smashing the thumbs up. I really truly appreciate it. Um, People that are listening to this probably, if they haven't heard already, you and I, we've had a little transaction recently.
Right. Oh, shit. You know what? I didn't bring it with me
You
either.
didn't bring it. Now
No.
you are the proud owner of my once coveted Tech 9
Right.
and
Right.
my Remington Micro 7 that I sold to you.
Yes. Very cool. Very cool. BFP is always trying to get that off me. So
Yeah.
not long.
I mean, it's a cycle. Like I
Yeah.
was working with Walter today,
It's a nice
and
gun. I haven't shot it yet, but
yeah, I was working
what
with
it
Walter today, and he
what it
was
is nice. Go ahead.
what Walter was working on. I'm like,
Mhm.
hmm, I want this. And he's like, oh yeah, I bought it here. And that's one of the cool things about working with Walter is he's just like, oh, I bought this. This is how much you can get it for.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be so easy. But now I'm thinking like, well, we have the machines in the shop to do it, so it's not like I have to pay someone to like send this
Mhm.
gun off. I'm like, I don't know. We're doing some secret squirrel shit,
Cool.
making some really cool firearms. Or converting, old
Yeah.
old guns and making them really fun.
Yeah.
But shout out to Walter out there. I see him out in the chat.
Absolutely. That's where the community comes in. I also work for Walter Technic. I'm a consultant. You're like a direct employee, but I
Yeah,
am a no, for real, I'm a consultant to Walter.
I didn't
And
know
it's
that.
what Walter's a good yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
You know.
okay. I
I
never.
met
I just thought like, hey, you guys were like bros and like
we
you
are.
did.
We're good friends. We're good
Oh
friends. We
yeah,
hang out, we do stuff together. But I met Walter years ago through Peter Palma of Top Shot, if anyone ever watched that show.
I remember that. Yep, yep.
Yeah, so
I used to watch it a lot.
mhm,
I remember the season that um was it JJ Rakaza or was it Chris
uh
Chang? I think it was Chris Chang. The season Chris Chang won.
yeah, wasn't that the last one?
Yeah, I remember that one
Yeah.
vividly because I was rooting for Chris.
Yeah. I think that was the last one, and then they did a champions
Yeah,
one or
and
something
I
like that.
watched the Champions one, but I watched like the
Yeah.
third season, and I want to say it was JJ Rakaza that was on it. I could be wrong,
Could be. Could be. Could be.
but
Well,
like,
Peter Palma was in the first one, and he was a Marine Scout sniper. And he actually his 50 that he had was a SHTF 50. So me and him met. Actually, I think we met Walter at the same time. They didn't know each other, but he wanted to meet the guy who manufactured his gun, and him and I met each other through We Like Shooting, and he came to Florida, and we went to visit with Walter, and that's how Walt and I met. And then after that, Walter, because Walter wasn't doing any of the real he wasn't doing social media
yeah,
stuff really, and he was like, "Hey man, I like what you're doing." I think I saw him at SHOT Show after that. He's like, I like what you're doing. I need to figure out how to get up, get on that. And so since then we became business partners. And just he's a really good guy, man.
oh
Walter's
yeah.
Walter's awesome.
I can't thank Walter enough because hey, about a month ago, the
Yeah.
situation I was in, it was a little scary. And then
Yeah,
Walter was nice enough to bring me on as a,
yeah.
employee. So
He
I'm
has a gruff, he has a gruff exterior. He's a big, he's a tank of a man. You
he's
know.
built like a brick shit house. Like
Yes, yeah.
is the
Big
he's
boy.
yeah, he
No,
will.
he's not just big; he's solid.
Yeah, no, it's all muscle. Like it's just
Yeah.
turning those
Well,
50s. Like I can't imagine. Like if he went to go bench press something, I would love to see him like bench press and just pick up like 375, just being like,
yeah.
no worries, I
He's
got
a
this all
crow.
day.
He's a Crow Magnum savage, Walter.
Yes,
But
exactly.
very
Um,
nice guy, and
but
the whole family. Like we're
oh yeah,
family now. Walter, Peggy, Will, Spence, everyone. We're and even Chris at the shop. We're all kind of like family now.
oh yeah, it's so refreshing. I love it.
Mhm.
Um, but so okay, so you got the Tech 9 now. Have you been able to shoot it as I
Yes,
know okay. Have you
yes.
like actually shot it?
Walt and I both shot it. What do I have? I have videos somewhere. So all the gun stuff is taking its time to go up because I'm actually creating a team for the first time.
Oh
So my
wow.
son does some stuff with us, but I'm actually bringing on someone else to help with all the workload of editing because I'm running like three YouTube channels basically. Hank Strange, who moved my freedom, and StrangerPalooza, where I do like all this van stuff. So it's
Yeah.
taken a while for everything to get up there. But yes, I have shot it. It didn't. There definitely is something wrong with the extractor.
Well, I told you it was something wrong with the extractor. I was like, oh yeah, you just gotta replace this, you're all good.
Yeah,
And
that magazine that you gave me loaded is what I shot.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so but it was cool, man. I'm glad that was a big bucket list. It's probably weird to people, but that was a big bucket list item for me. And then coming from you that, I know it has a story with you and then
Yeah.
it passes on to me. It's pretty cool. I even thought about doing some crazy stuff to it. Me and BFP, we were talking about it. And then I was like, and even he was like, dude, I don't think you want to like go too crazy on that. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I
gonna
mean,
I'm gonna
it's
fix it up.
threaded.
Yeah.
I'd
Mhm.
like to I'd like to see you shoot it suppressed because that's always something I wanted to do because I had a threaded barrel. I don't know if it's half by 28 though. It could be
Uh,
some weird
yeah.
thread pitch from back in the
Yeah, but we'll
90s.
be able to do it. So I'm gonna fix it up and do some stuff, and probably Patrick BFP, he'll be doing that work, and we'll get it running. But I'm not gonna
Well,
go too crazy.
I would just like first dibs on if you ever go to sell that, just know I call dibs on the resale.
Okay, all right, understood. Yeah.
I
But
don't
it's
think
over
that's
here.
ever
It's in the Strange family now.
gonna.
I'm gonna recreate Big Trouble in Little China with Kurt Russell. That you ever saw that? No,
No,
you probably. Yeah.
no.
Okay. You never. You don't haven't seen any movie from when were you born?
91.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
wow.
I'm a baby. But yeah,
Big Trouble
so
in Little China. You gotta watch it.
I will put that on the very long list of movies
Yeah.
people tell me
If
to
you
see.
look up the movie poster, you're gonna see Kurt Russell, long flowing hair, and a Tech Nine, and a little I guess they call it like a wife beater, white T-shirt with
I
some
call them
kind of
I call them wife beaters. Don't worry, that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
call them.
yeah.
But we're on. Well, hey, we're on Rumble. We can say those terms without being like, "Ooh, we can't say that." All right.
It is
I
what
do
it
want
is.
to. So you obviously we're gonna get into the van stuff in a minute, but
Mhm.
it sounds like you're starting to kind of get back into putting gun videos out because I was always a fan of your gun videos
Mhm.
back in the day, especially like I saw your Celtic SU-16 video that you put out,
Okay.
and I was like, that's what was like. Oh wow, this is a really cool video.
Walter has that gun now.
I know we are doing some cool stuff to that,
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
the
like,
safety harbor gun.
now I'm like I need to buy this gun again
Oh no.
because I see what he's got going on, and I'm like,
Oh, I
oh,
know. Yeah.
my
I'm gonna wind
creative
up buying one
brain.
again too. Walter's making it look real cool right now. If anyone hasn't seen that, go to Safety Harbor Firearms.
Dark is like, dude, you've seen no movies, bro. Really?
You haven't. You didn't. You've never seen Die Hard, apparently.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'll get
Yeah.
to it. But
Mhm.
like, what's like a gun video what's a gun that, because we just came out of SHOT Show, a lot of stuff's
Right.
gotten released.
Mhm.
It's different because now since you're doing all the car and van and most of the van stuff, you're still in the gun game. Like
Yeah.
you're still getting excited.
Yeah.
What gun are
Videos.
you
Videos
really
are still
excited?
going up.
Yeah, what gun are you really excited to try that
Um.
just got released?
Okay. I mean, and I do look at stuff that's getting released, but I was just talking to Patrick about this today. I'm not really that excited by the new stuff coming out anymore. And that's a good thing. Like when I'm still putting up guns. I think the last time we posted a video was maybe a month ago, right? The slowdown is because, like I said, we've got a workload thing going on. But uh, I'm more into the old school guns now,
Yeah.
right? So like the Tech 9, those kinds of things. I want to get an arm pistol. There's things like that that I'm really super excited about. But let me see, new stuff that's out. I'm trying to, PSA is putting out some really cool stuff.
Oh,
So
I can't wait. I'm going to
yeah,
the gathering next week. I cannot
yeah,
wait to.
yeah.
I'm really excited to try their dagger, their saber dagger,
Hmm.
um, and I'd like to try their 308 saber.
Yeah, that 5.7. They've got a 5.7 thing. They've got a bullpup. I'm like a bullpup
Oh, of
horse.
course.
Bullpups forever.
Yeah. How many? Yeah.
You
It's
know.
like you're like one of the only guys I know that has a
Yeah.
bullpup AK
Yeah.
74. Or is it,
Yes.
okay, you're
Yes.
one of the only people I know that
74.
have that.
Yeah, from Century Arms. So, and by the way, I'm not going to be able to make it to the gathering this year. I've been for a long time, but this year I won't be able to make it. There's like all these conflicts. I've got multiple conflicts coming up at the same time. But I would have loved to have gone to the gathering. And I think that PSA to me puts out the most exciting stuff that I could think about. There's some, do you remember? I don't think it was at this shot show. Maybe was it the shot show before that or somewhere in the middle when was it B&T that put out that like folding gun?
Oh yeah, that was
Um,
cool. Like 10 years ago when Magpul originally did it.
yeah, yeah, that kind. But it's the throwback thing. So I'm really into that kind of stuff right now,
Yeah,
which
we
is
got.
weird. That's my progression as a gun guy. Now I'm into the old shit.
I'm still into the old stuff. Working with Walter definitely kind of like acerbates the. I want to get a parts kit for this, parts kit for this. Like I got a
Right.
Bowser that I'm rebuilding.
Yeah.
DLD is asking, what
Hmm.
about the Daewoo, Hank?
The Daewoo, I still have the Daewoo. That's awesome. I love that gun. That
The rifle or the pistol?
the rifle. I
Okay,
had the pistol a long time ago, and I had to because back in the days I had to like sell guns all the time to get new guns in, before any companies like paid attention and all that kind of stuff, or before we were actually making enough money to hold on to the guns.
yeah,
So
I'm still doing that here and there.
mhm,
It's tough, but yeah, I've shot a Daewoo pistol. I really like the pistol.
mhm.
I'm if I find one at a good price, I went to my first like Florida gun show this week, past weekend
Okay.
in Palmetto, and
Hmm.
it was cool. They had some cool stuff. There was a lot of like major gun shops that had like 37 tables.
Hmm.
Shoot Straight, if you ever heard of them,
Hmm.
they had a lot of tables at the show. But I'm going more towards the used stuff even more than I was before.
Hmm.
And the only one I considered picking up was a Jennings 9mm pistol, and
Wow.
it was
Hmm.
$150, and I'm like, I love those types of like little Saturday Night Special guns. I
Hmm.
don't know why. I just have like this thing for them. Like I hunt them down. Um, and then there was a couple other cool stuff there, but like
Hmm.
that's what I love going to gun shows for, is because, or just checking out. I checked out like 4 gun shops in the Sarasota area. Now that I don't work at a gun shop, where I feel if I go to the competition, it's like looking bad. But like now it's like
Ah,
I travel like a couple, and I'm like, wow, they have this stuff, they have this stuff, and it's awesome. It's just an
yeah.
awesome feeling to do it,
So like
and
be
you get that
yeah.
excitement over old guns.
I think it's the discovery, right?
Yeah,
Being an FFL, and believe it or not, like people, it would be actually easy for me to walk away from guns if I wasn't into it. But I am into it. So traveling, getting on the road and doing, let's say I'm not even doing gun stuff. Let's say I'm out on the road doing van stuff. As an FFL, I could stop in gun stores around the country, and I always, if I have that opportunity, I have that time, I stop in, and that's how I found that Walther 22 competition gun
yep,
that I have, and that kind of stuff is awesome. Like you can stop here, discover this gun, and literally walk away from it once you show them that you're an FFL and everything. So yeah,
yeah,
it's awesome to discover that they were all these really cool guns that they made back in the days. As opposed to like when I started and doing this, and it was all about what was new and what was the hot thing that was out there.
Yeah, I'm about 50-50 with that stuff. Like right now, I think they're cool. I'm not like chomping at the bit to get them, but like the tactical lever actions, like I think
Mhm.
that's cool that
Mhm.
more companies are making lever actions. I
Yeah.
love Henry rifles,
Mhm.
but they're really expensive. Like $1,000 for a lever action is it's up
Yeah.
there. So
They're
you know,
worth it. They're worth it though, and they're
oh yeah,
getting into the
they're definitely
tactical.
worth
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
They're definitely worth it. It's just dropping a
Those are
G.
heirloom. Those are heirloom level. If unless you're talking about the real old school, like the
Yeah,
real old guns that people are into. Henry. If you want to get a modern, it's Henry. But it is nice to see other people getting into it, and some of the people that are getting into it doing expensive guns too.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Stag Arms, they make some
Yeah.
pretty modern mid-level AR-15. Smith and Wesson just came out with their model. The new
Mhm.
Marlin or Ruger branded Marlins, they're still 1,400 $1,500.
Mhm.
Like they're pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But I'm the same. I'm about 50-50. Like I'm
Mhm.
really excited about the PSA offerings. And there's a new company that's like a CZ Glock 19 clone, Ross Martin.
Okay.
They released at SHOT Show. It takes CZ P10 mags. That gun I'm really
Mhm.
interested in because it's coming in at like 450 MSRP. So
Okay.
that interests me. Like that's in my ballpark.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got then this is all through Patrick. I think recently I got like the old Scorpion kit. I got two of
Yes,
them.
I want to buy one so bad. I'm waiting
Yeah.
for Patrick to figure out the jig welds
Mhm.
because once if I gotta go up if I'm gonna go up there to drop something off, I'm gonna have a couple things for him because I have a
Mhm.
old 22. I'd like him to rust blue, and
Oh, okay.
I talked to him about it. And guys, if you haven't
Mhm.
checked out Chrome Vandium Arms, check him out. Babyface is doing amazing work on building kit guns, refinishing firearms, gunsmithing services. Check him out, chromevandiumarms.com. And I can say that because we're live on Rumble, guys. Remember, make sure you smash the like button.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, the new and old guns, it's always something interesting. I'm finding myself scrolling Gunbroker more often than not, just out of curiosity. And there's been a couple of times where I'm like, I should jump on this. I should throw
What
in a
would you
bit.
buy if money was no object? Like I know right now, you're young, you're
Yeah,
like getting yourself set up and everything. So I understand. I remember those days.
yeah.
Um, if money was no object, anything out there, what would you just go, boom, it's mine.
Uh a working FAL, not a full auto, but if
Okay.
I could, if realistically, if money was no option
Mhm.
and I don't have to deal with NFA stuff, I'd get an FAL,
Mhm.
and or I would get no, that's NFA, so I'd have to wait for that. I was gonna say Honey Badger, but that's a two stamp gun, and I'd be waiting a long time for that. But yeah, I'd get
Maybe not.
yeah. I mean, Kevin Brittingham, if you're out there, let me
Oh,
know.
good.
T and
Good luck
E.
with that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, yeah.
That
Good
would
luck
just be
with
like, no. I've been trying. He's on the top of the list of getting on the show. I
that.
want to get him on the show,
Oh yeah. Okay.
but I know
Yeah.
that's going to be a tough ask. So
Yeah, we had him on the show
yeah,
before.
I
Yeah.
listen to the show.
Yeah. Sometimes be careful what you ask for. You might get it.
Exactly. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've all had shows like that, but yeah, I'd say an
Mhm.
FAL or a probably I like the Stealth Arms Platypus, the 2011 that takes Glock mags. It's
Oh,
really
okay.
customizable. I really like that. My buddy
Let me look
Nick,
that up.
yeah, my
Hmm.
buddy Nick over at the Archetype of Man channel. He used to be the
Hmm.
Hungry Handgunner.
Okay.
He had one at what was it IV88. He just did some videos on it, and I know Tactical Toolbox did some videos on it, and I really like the concept of
Uh.
it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, that would be money. If money was no option, those would be the two guns.
Okay.
I can build any AR, anything I really want. Um, I'm in the process of actually
So like
purchasing.
that.
Yes. Yep. That
Oh,
exact
okay.
thing. Yep. And you actually sent me something you wanted me to show too. Hold on.
Oh.
No. I
Okay.
forgot you sent me that picture. I was like, oh damn.
If yeah,
Oh,
for me and you know, I guess everyone's into the 2011s have really come up in popularity. Um,
I'm not paying $3 grand for a staccato. Like they can kiss my ass. Like
yeah.
I've shot staccatos. Me and my girlfriend, we went to a range in Pennsylvania and had, I think it was the staccato P. It was a range gun. They didn't take care of the range gun, so like I was having to like push. I was having to put on a staccato of all guns. I had to push the slide forward a couple times, and I'm like,
Oh,
um, no, I don't care if
yeah.
this is a range gun. A staccato should not do this. But yeah, I like the 2011s. I'm a big 1911 guy. I had my 1911 armors course, advanced armor
Okay.
certificate from Sonoran Desert Institute. So I love the workings of a 1911. So yeah, or the FAO. Like I
Hmm.
said, I can build any gun
Yeah.
really. But I'm in the process of actually getting ready to purchase my first two suppressors. So
Oh,
I
sweet.
yeah, I haven't been able to have a suppressor my entire life, and now I live in the Gunshine state. I can actually
How are
purchase.
you doing it? Are you using like Silencer Shop or one of those?
No, I'm going through Brownells, and
Okay.
I'm gonna get them transferred to Walter. And since he's
Okay.
an SOT, I can do that. And I'll do I'm gonna do the E forms, but I'm not
Hmm.
gonna do Silencer Shop just because like E form I can still do online, and
Hmm.
it's the same thing. So why would I have um the
Hmm.
middleman and pay the middleman on top of paying the
Hmm.
tax stamp? I'll
Hmm.
just pay the tax stamp. But yeah, Brown
Hmm.
Isles has a couple of really cool suppressors I've been looking at. Both of them, one's a Surefire, one's a Silencer Co.
Hmm.
It's the Surefire SR or like RS-22, and then
Okay.
the Octane 9. I was the
Okay.
Octane 9.
I think the Octane is part of the universal suppressor standard, right? So you can switch out the back end and it's
I
you
don't
can
know. I don't.
okay.
I always get it mixed up with the Osprey 49. The Octane and the Osprey 9. I always get those mixed up.
Okay.
But those
Yeah.
are two that I was looking at, and then down the road
Hmm.
I'll probably get like a 5.56.
Hmm.
I'm actually thinking about going to Suppress Fest in Florida this year, run by the NFA Review Channel.
Okay.
I was thinking about going to that just to check out, like
Hmm.
just to try more, to have like at least an educated opinion when I go to get them.
Yeah, shoot
Uh,
different stuff and see how they work. There is a universal kind of standard now that they kind of speak of and then don't speak of because they don't want you to use other people's parts.
yeah,
But if you get cans that do have that universal thread on it, you could switch out parts, and that's what I've been doing the last few years. It's actually kind of fun.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
thinking, oh, I'll get a 45 can, but then I watched this VSO Gun Channel video
Hmm.
where he was just like, don't get a 45 can for a 9, just get a 9 mil can. And I'm like, and like I understand where he was like conveying, and then
Hmm.
I'm doing more research, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get a 9 and a 22 for now.
Hmm.
Um, but I do
That's
want to
good.
talk.
I mean, that's a good start, man. 22 is the best start because it's cheap and you can shoot it a lot, and
Well, I'm
cheap stuff.
happy that the PSA dagger, and guys,
Hmm.
check out this null from Variant Innovations. This is awesome. This is a Glock 17 mag flush fit in a dagger compact. It's awesome. But suppressing this gun really kind of solidified, like, this gun suppresses fairly well, and it was fun. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with a 9. Um,
Hmm.
but so your van channel has been taken off. I just looked today. You're almost at 100,000 subscribers. You're at 90,000 subs within two
Yeah,
years. Like that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
thanks, man. A lot, yeah, a lot of work.
yeah, killing it, absolutely killing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so you have Morgan, you have the original van, and yes, I
Yep.
do remember the name
Yes.
because I
Yeah.
I, I have this crazy like super
Yeah.
superhuman memory. Um,
Kudos to you. Yeah, that's
yeah.
true. You're right.
But
It's from a movie. From a movie you've
uh,
probably never seen.
what was it? I remember you said it. It was like Michonne. No.
Mm-mm. It's a pirate movie.
I remember you talking about it.
Hmm.
Um, was it? It's not. I'm not. Fuck. I'll
Hmm.
think of it towards the end. I'm gonna be like, this is
Hmm.
what it was.
Yeah, it has Gina Davis.
No idea who that is.
Just to give a clue. Oh, Gina Davis.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
okay.
idea who that is.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
okay. Okay.
but so you have that, and then you have an electric van as well. You
Mhm.
are a brand ambassador for Sunshine State RV.
Yes, Sunshine State RV is the dealership that's in Gainesville.
Yep.
So I'm brand ambassador for them. Yep.
So what is it? So when you're doing all these shows and stuff like that, you're going. It's kind of like the gun thing. You go to all these different trade shows, find companies with products. So you take the same concept for the gun thing with the van thing, and
Hmm.
obviously it's been working on.
Hmm.
Are you doing a lot more overlanding with your van now to test products out and conveying that? You have the Vanasaur podcast on
Hmm.
StrangerPalooza. So guys, if you guys are into van stuff, go check him out on StrangerPalooza.
Hmm.
All the links are in the description on Rumble and will be added to YouTube as
Thank
well.
you.
On the
Thank you. Yeah, and lots of gun guys, by the way, have vans. It's
yeah,
always funny to me how many. I think I was looking. I looked at something on Instagram from Garand Thumb or something like that, and he had a van. You know, there's a video he has where he's taking the slides off of all these
yep,
Glocks.
yep,
If you look in the background of that, he's got a van. Looks like a Sprinter van of some sort.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah. Granthum's on there. I know the Gun Collective. Talon Sai was like
Gunpla,
the first big
Talon.
guy
Yeah.
that gun guy. He wasn't like he had a gun channel, but he was kind of like a all
He had
around.
a decent gun channel, but YouTube kept coming down on him too much.
Oh,
Um,
big
they
time.
they even attacked the van channel based off of their issues.
Oh
They
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
because I remember following his whole story around the lower 48 in his van, and I was like, oh,
Mhm,
that's so cool. I know
mhm.
Donut Operator does the van stuff. A
Okay.
lot of guys
Yeah.
are into it. I think it's cool the fact that you literally can just kind of what they call boondock and just kind of go anywhere, especially if you're on BLM land. I
Right.
think that's really cool. Like driving out to like Joshua Tree or something like that, and
Hmm.
just camping out there in the van and doing your thing. I thought that's
Yeah.
always so cool.
Hmm.
What is your big? Have you ever had like any concerns driving the van, doing stuff like that, or no?
I mean, nothing has come up that like has. What are you talking about? Like security issues
Not
or?
really security, but like if
Mhm.
you are like kind of taking it off road a little bit,
Oh, okay.
uh,
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand the limitations based on what you have. So this van is a dually, and so in other words, in the back there's two wheels, right, on each side, right? So the back has four wheels and the front has two. So a dually drives better on the roads, but if you go off road, it really can't articulate. So you
yep,
can't. It's not really, and this is all wheel drive, so it could kind of go down, dirt roads and on a farm and stuff like that. But if you really want to go off road someplace, I've borrowed other people's vans that are single wheels in the back and lifted and have knobby tires and stuff like that. That's more suited for that.
yeah,
So I do want to eventually get a van like that, and I'm trying to encourage the places I work with. Like I work with Coachman as well.
yep,
I'm a brand ambassador for Coachman Class B. Um, so I'm always trying to encourage the different like manufacturers around me to make those. You know, and just from being in the van thing, I've come across a lot of that. So
yeah. And Coachman is kind of like Winnebago. It's you get the base van, and then you go to like Coachman or um, Storyteller or whoever, and they uplift the van. Correct?
no, so they buy the vans.
Okay.
So and there's three main vans in America. So you have your Sprinter van, which is a Mercedes. You have my van is a Ford Transit, and you have the Ram ProMaster van. So they buy these vans from the manufacturers, and then they upfit them to become RVs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I figured.
yeah, yeah.
I still think it's just like there's so much, and plus it's kind of like the gun side where
Hmm.
there are so many accessories for those friggin' vans, and it's
Yeah.
lights, max track stuff, off road. You can get
Hmm.
the solar panels, where you can get a
You can
wee
spend a
boost and
lot of
stuff.
money, just like any
Oh
truck
yeah.
or car. Yeah,
Now, and
but it's.
you got the
Mhm.
lithium battery changeover on your main van, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, this van I'm in has like 540 amp hours. Um, you know, so I'm not sure exactly how many watt hours that is, but it's enough. Let's say I can run the AC on this van for about 6 or 7 hours straight off the battery.
And that's with the vehicle off or
Yeah, with everything off, I can run the AC for 7 hours straight. So overnight, let's say, because overnight it's cooler and stuff like that. So if it's not a hot, humid night, it's going to go on and off, so it can run for 16 hours or 20
Oh, that's
hours.
cool. Oh, that's cool. And once you
Yeah,
turn the
there's just a
car on.
compressor. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you turn on, yeah, go ahead.
So I was gonna say, once you turn on the van, the alternators kick in and starts charging the batteries back up.
Yeah,
Correct.
or this van has a generator on it that I can
Oh,
kick
okay.
on separately. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
What are some of the like with you've been doing this for 2 years now? Have you had any trips that you're with doing the van stuff? You're like, wow, I really had like this was a fun time doing checking this place out in the van or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think the most fun one that sticks out is that there's a company in California called Mod Vans, and I went out there and borrowed their van, which is an off-road or overlanding van, and I drove from California to Nevada for SEMA show, and Lola flew in there, and then Lola and I went to we were just driving around Nevada and California. We went to Death Valley. We went to all these places where we were like sleeping up at, I don't know what, like 7,000 feet above sea level. And we went to the desert where they shot some Star Wars stuff. We were it was so fun, man. The places we were going were like being on another planet. I have some videos up of that. It was great. And then even we were on the beach in California, we were spending the night out there. It had a pop top. So Lola and I were up in the pop top, looking at the sun. Everywhere we went, we looked at the sun go down and we looked at it come up. It was
That's
awesome.
awesome. I that was one thing I did when I first moved down here. Um, I'm right off the Gulf Coast, so like it's the sun setting and sunrise, beautiful.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
wake up a little when I first moved down here on my days off. I'd wake up, have a cup of coffee, and I'd watch the
Mhm.
sunrise at the jetty, and it's like
Yeah.
it's peaceful. Like
And
I don't get that back home. So
yeah.
like
And what's the crazy thing that I would say to someone like you that's you're kind of single, right? You're not
no, I gotta
married.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
know you
married,
got
but
yeah,
yeah, I
you
have a
got a
girl.
chick, you got your chick,
I got
but
a girlfriend,
yeah,
Christy.
you're
Shout out, Christy. Love you, babe.
yeah. But you didn't put a ring on it yet, homie.
We're actually going to be together a year this weekend. She's coming
Oh,
down. Yeah, she's coming.
congratulations. Yes.
Yeah, she's coming down. She's coming out back from. She's on a contract in
Yeah.
Colorado, and
Yeah,
she's
and she's
coming down
always
for the
nice to
weekend.
me whenever she hits, if we do me and you doing something on social media,
Yeah,
she's always cool. But here's the thing about a van, it's perfect for someone like you because so if you build your own van, you have to buy the van, do all the stuff. If you buy one of these vans that the RV manufacturers make, they're kind of expensive, but your loan is actually like a mortgage.
yeah,
But you're looking but instead of that being over 5 years like a car would be, it could be over 10 years or even longer than that. So it's less money. So sometimes you could buy these things for like the same thing as your rent.
yeah.
And it's
I'm paying 1150 a month right now.
right.
Plus,
So there you go. That's what I'm paying for this van. So you could have something like this and literally live on it and be anywhere you want to.
yeah, and I've
So,
always admired people that can do that and like travel the
mhm.
country and stuff like that. Have you gone like anywhere like to the north? What like the like
Like Alaska or
No, not like
something.
Alaska,
Oh,
but like say like the upper part near the Canadian border, like the Dakotas,
oh, uh-huh.
Idaho, Montana, anywhere that in the
I've
van.
been through I've been through Montana and stuff like that, but so far, like on the East Coast, the furthest north I've been is like around Maryland, Virginia, so far with the van. Um
That's as far north as I want to drive. I
right, yeah,
uh-uh.
exactly.
anywhere past Virginia, I'm like I'm flying.
Yeah. Yeah. So and then I have been through like Utah and all those kind of places. And it's awesome because even if it's cold, I could spend the night. Like this has propane on it. So
Oh, okay.
I could kick up the propane heat and don't have to run my batteries or anything like that to stay warm. So
And you're
um
still in your even while you're doing the whole like van stuff, you're also doing the ham radio.
mhm,
Because obviously if sometimes you're out, having a ham radio is actually a very smart thing to do.
mhm.
You got stuff that keeps you safe but can get you out of things like probably don't you have a max track set up on your van?
I do. Yep. I take Mac. That's just recovery boards, basically. So if you get stuck, you could
Yeah,
use it as a bridge or to dig yourself out or give you traction to
yeah,
climb
yeah.
out.
And do you have a winch on your van or no?
No, on this van, no. But on that overland van at some point here that I'm gonna get, yes, there will be a winch.
Yeah, so
Very, very important.
Yeah, so you're pretty much self-sufficient with all this stuff where all you got to do is worry about putting fuel in the car in the van and going off, and
Hmm.
now do you have like a Weeboo set up? I think I might have asked you before where like you can get like
Yeah.
internet signal.
I don't have a Wii Boost or anything like that. I just take a bunch of different hotspots with me. T-Mobile is really useful, and then I have Verizon. I did have AT&T in the past. I haven't found it to be that good. I find T-Mobile, Verizon,
Yep.
but I do have for the house. I have Starlink, and
Okay.
I'm
Yep.
wait. Starlink is very close to putting out something very specifically for RVs. As a matter of fact, there's a friend of mine that has a Cybertruck, and he's right now in Utah in the mountains driving around going live with his truck off of Starlink.
So is you saying I should invest in Tesla now
Oh,
or?
I don't know. I don't know that I would give people like advice on that. I know I have invested in Tesla, and the stock price is getting like it's getting real good right now. So, but yeah, Tesla's going to be kicking butt. But I think that the Starlink is SpaceX.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well,
yeah,
yeah. Elon Musk. It's kind of. Imagine if like
yeah.
it gets to the point where you can invest in just people. Like you're not investing in a company. It's like one singular person. That is when I'm going to be like, all right, that's kind of dangerous because,
Right.
and
Well, we
like,
have that. We have that. It's called influencers.
do you consider yourself an influencer?
No, I don't like that. I consider
I
myself a
hate that
content
term.
a content creator or filmmaker,
Yep.
but companies consider me an influencer, which is, I guess that's their prerogative.
I was
But
called an influencer
right.
by a very, very well known and popular firearms manufacturer when I had an interview with them.
Hmm.
And like, I had to keep a straight face, but in my brain, I'm like, oh,
It
don't.
sounds like hula. It's like hula.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
whore. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It,
which
it,
is not the truth. I think it's a little bit more. It's so look. Partly it is the truth, and partly it's a little bit more complicated than that. And I try to explain to people that I'm doing stuff that I'm really into. So it's more than just a paycheck. Um, and sometimes you take a paycheck from someone and you hate yourself for it, right? And you can't wait to get away from that. So for me, I want to deal with companies and be in a space that makes me excited to be there and I get up every day just like, looking forward to the challenge of doing this versus like what they think an influencer is we give you money, you say whatever the hell we want you to say.
yeah, I will never do that.
So,
I literally have a product right now that I got to send back to the guy because I just been busy, haven't had time, and like, yeah, I should have done a video sooner, but in
mhm.
between changing jobs and all this stuff, it just hey got behind, and they we had I got to send it back just so they
Mhm.
can just so I can be like, listen, I'm not ready for this. Like,
Yeah.
take it,
At the
you
same
know.
time, you don't have to like I think some people make their bones as YouTube content creators or whatever social media it is, they make their bones destroying people. I think you need to be a bridge because if you're really so like I'm really into the gun world, right? And I'm
Yeah,
really into the van stuff. Whatever I'm really into, I want to help people. So I want to help the consumers out there,
yep,
and I want to help the companies as well to get closer and kind of be a bridge between those two things that the people get what they want or their issues get handled. And then, yes, the companies make a better product and therefore make more money selling it to the people because you're selling them what they want. But they have to be willing to listen to what you're saying. But if they really see you as an influencer, they just feel like, hey, we're gonna give you this, you're gonna shut up and like say whatever we tell you, and that would be like your traditional gun magazines and your traditional gun writers, or even if it comes to YouTube, those traditional folks that do that kind of stuff.
I mean, I have a price. Like,
Hmm.
if you want to throw 50K at me, I'll say
Hmm.
it. I mean, I'm not gonna turn that down. Like,
Right.
but
Right.
like,
Okay.
I
Right.
mean, unless it's like Olight, like
But are you willing to do anything for it?
no, I'm not.
Yeah.
If there's limitations,
Yeah. I
especially if
want to
it
be able
costs
to
money.
tell I want to be able to tell that company, and this has happened to me, like I've been in in the factory of a company and they're showing me an AR they want to put out, and I go and like pull the charging handle on that AR and it's all crusty and gritty and everything. And I'm like,
Oh, that's instantly. I'm like, nope, don't want it.
yeah, and I've told them this is crap. But because I was like that, that company didn't want to deal with me anymore. So which is fine. But at the end of the day, I want to be
Oh,
the person that the company goes, you know what? Maybe there's a point to what he's saying. Maybe people are going to walk into stores and these ARs that really should be like 300-400 bucks that we're charging 1,200 bucks for, people might pull the charging handles and go, I don't think so. Because that's exactly what happened to that company, that they sent those guns out and people didn't buy them. But I mean, I want to help that company, right? If
yeah,
they're willing to listen to the hard stuff and be better.
yeah, and that's what I'm kind of about too, is creating a relationship, like a friendship. You and I both we're really good with Brownells. We love Brownells. They're an awesome company to deal with.
Hmm.
They're wonderful people.
Hmm.
PSA. I'm so excited. I've been working with PSA
Yeah,
since I moved down here, and
yeah,
they've been nothing but nice.
yeah.
So it's like you get to work with these people that at some point you're good friends with, you're close friends with. Like I was actually texting Mike from CMMG today,
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
just
Mike's a good guy.
great dude, and like just
Hmm.
shooting the shit, like back and
Yeah,
forth.
but
Like,
these are real people who actually give a shit.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's the difference here. Like, so I don't think that Brownells really manufactures anything, but they care about the customers, right?
Yeah,
So they care about what they sell to people. PSA manufactures a lot of stuff, but these are like genuine gun folks who want to build cool guns. They want everyone to be armed, but they also want to build badass, cool, exciting guns that we all want. It's different to work for those kind of folks, right? Same thing with CMMG or any of these companies that you mentioned. They're really in this for the love of
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, and that's and I've only met one or two companies that I'm like, you know what, I don't need to work with you because you don't like. I can
Hmm.
already tell it's going to be a pain in the ass, and
Hmm.
it's like I don't want to bring that to the viewers that like I worked hard for my following just as much as you
Hmm.
have worked hard for every community that you're a part of. So if
Hmm.
you bring something, it's because you love it. Like I don't
Hmm.
make a lot of money from YouTube, but I do it because I fell in love with showing people.
Hmm.
And I've been saying this for years. That is the best form of advocacy for the Second Amendment.
Hmm.
Is guys like you and me who are like, okay, hey, we're gonna take this gun, we're gonna build it, we're gonna have fun at the range. Like, yeah, obviously, your basic safety rules apply. Know that your gun's loaded. We're teaching people at the same time, but also showing
That's
people
with anything. That's with anything.
with yeah, with anything. But
A van could kill you. It could kill other people if you don't know what you're doing.
exactly. Doing
So,
something like
mhm,
this is my carry gun right now. It's my SIG
yeah.
365X,
Hmm.
Patmos Arms Revelation Slide. Um, People are looking into concealed carry guns.
Hmm.
They didn't. They would have never. Some people probably were like, "Oh, I can do that to mine," and then they
Hmm.
bring it to the range. They tell their friends and say, "Oh yeah, you can do this," and those friends come to the range to try it out. Maybe be anti-gun, and they get into it. That's the best form of advocacy:
Hmm.
is getting people behind the triggers and behind products that work, but also letting them have fun and
Hmm.
realizing and taking their own responsibility. I've been
Yeah.
pushing that a lot lately because there's a lot of like, oh, the government's trying to end us. The government's trying to do
They
it.
are,
And like, I'm
but
just,
yeah.
oh yeah, they are
But you could get
100%.
stress. You could overly stress it. Uh,
I want to give that shit a wide berth. Okay. Like,
mhm,
nothing to, I don't want to, I don't listen to the news. I don't have a TV in my house. Like,
mhm,
I haven't watched the news since like 2014. Like,
mhm,
I don't do that shit.
mhm. So
And
you don't know about the zombie apocalypse.
I'm ready. All right.
No.
I got my AR now. I don't care. I'm ready. I got some
Listen.
survival food. I got oh yeah, is the shit that's going on in Haiti.
No, 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 no. I'm just messing with you.
Oh,
You know
oh,
what's my number one driver in anything that I do? Because I'm the same on everything, right? I don't have a different formula. The number one driver for me on what I do is that um, we're all normal people. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. We're regular people. And I remember, like, if I went out there and spent my hard-earned money on anything, on a gun, on anything, I had to live with the consequences of that, right? Like, so if this gun was crap and then I dropped $1,000 on it, and then I had to explain to Lola that now I'm going to lose that. I'm only going to get $500 back out of it because it was a piece of crap. It's difficult. So when I do
Yeah.
anything, I think about the consumer out there, which I am the consumer, and I make sure that I never remove myself from that frame of mind, because I am going to meet those people that, in the case of guns, are spending, hundreds or thousands of dollars, or in the case of vans, are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy something and then have to live with the consequences. So if I
Mhm.
lie to them, if I mislead them, if I fool them or trick them, sure, I could avoid them, right? But I'm going to see people in the real world, and I want to be able to look at that person, in the eye, and know that, for my part, I didn't deliberately misguide them. I think there'll be issues with anything,
Yeah.
or, like, for example, we see it sometimes, like, you might have a gun and you don't have issues with it, but maybe everyone else does. But you have to be honest from your point of view of what you're seeing, to help the folks out there. And they also have a responsibility to not believe everything they see on YouTube or on social media, on the internet or on TV or wherever they're getting it from. But you have to hold up that end of your responsibility to not waste their money.
Exactly. You get that one dude, and I know we're kind of over the 9 o'clock hour, but you
Hmm.
get that one dude or that one woman that is working a minimum wage job.
Hmm.
They want especially on the gun side, they want something that they can defend themselves with, they defend their
Hmm.
family or their kids with. They're a single man or woman or whatever. They live in a
Hmm.
not so chill area of a city or a rural area. When you're making $15 an hour every 2 weeks,
Hmm.
you're maybe bringing home at best $600-700, and you got rent and bills and all that shit. When it comes to that, I take a lot of responsibility knowing that I've been that guy.
Hmm.
I know what it's like to put a gun on layaway.
Hmm.
That the gun's only $350, but it takes you 3 months
Well,
to pay it off.
you got multiple bills you have to pay, right? You can't be
Yeah.
homeless.
So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
I know what it's like, and I would rather tell people that probably do the research like I did on every gun I ever bought. My
Hmm.
first couple guns, I didn't really do research because I was new. I didn't know anybody that was into guns,
Hmm.
and I take that as I don't want that to happen to somebody else.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm into the budget stuff. Yeah, I like some stuff that's like a little bit expensive. Like to me personally, like this is probably one of the most expensive guns I've ever built because of the receiver, the FCU that's in. It's a
Hmm.
Spectre receiver, and
Hmm.
then everything else included. If I were to buy this off the shelf, this is about eleven
Yeah.
hundred dollars.
But do you regret that money? See, the money doesn't matter, man.
Yeah,
Money
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter. Do you
Money doesn't
regret
matter.
it? That's the
No,
question.
I don't regret it at all. I
Yeah.
had fun learning, and that's what I want to express to people that watch my
Hmm.
show, my channel, or same thing as what you want to express to your channel. I'm still getting into 3D printing. I got a 3D printing channel. Haven't posted really anything, but I'm still learning because people that's a hobby people can get into, and they can take it and escape from whatever for a little bit to learn how to print something.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or some people just buy a 3D printer and then become a guru. I would prefer to take the next 10 years of my life and learn about 3D printing
exactly,
and then talk
exactly,
shit about it. But if not, if I don't know shit, you know what I would rather do? I would rather support all the people out there like Flying Rich
exactly.
that do know about it, and let them talk about it and let
Or
them get
DLD After
kudos.
Dark, or
Or
John
yeah, or
Crump,
Dark,
or
yeah, or Crump,
anybody.
any of those guys, Control Pew, whoever it is. I would rather support those people than go buy a printer and then, you know then try to,
I know
arm
what I'm
myself
talking
on.
about. Yeah, it's like you're instantly an overnight
Yeah.
uh genius on anything. Me,
Yeah.
I still don't know. I'm still learning stuff every day about guns. I have
Hmm.
people come, like my girlfriend will come to me. She's like, "Oh, you're so knowledgeable." I'm like, "Yeah, because I've taken the time, and like, yeah, I don't like to throw around. Like, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, no, I went to college for firearms." Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I have a little bit of a leg to stand on. I don't throw that on a lot just because, like,
Hmm.
one, you come off as a massive douche, and
Hmm.
secondly, I'm still learning. So
Yeah.
I like Hoffman.
Hmm.
He was an expert,
Oh
and
man, he oh,
The
we lost so much knowledge when the Hoff passed that the world is a lesser place for it.
exactly. Or another perfect example in the chat. Safety Harbor Firearms.
Hmm.
The shit that Walter knows. And I was helping him today trying to find some English 410 ammo. And you've been in his shop. He has those scaffold
Yeah,
things in the way back,
yeah.
and
Good luck.
it's it's just packed high to the ceiling. And we're
Yeah.
going through.
Walter lost some lowers that I bought, one for him and one for me, and gave them both to him like 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago. I think he just found them the end of last year or
Yeah.
beginning of this year.
So he's got a lot of shit. He
Yeah. Right.
knows. Oh yeah, no, this barrel goes to this gun, and he's going
Hmm.
through parts kits. We're trying to find stuff. He's like, oh yeah, this is this, and I'm like he has all this. Like, oh yeah, I know exactly what this is just by this, and I'm like, it's just it's so insane. And he's even saying we were messing around with stuff today that he's never seen before, and
Hmm.
it was really fun. But
Hmm.
I know we are over the 9 o'clock hour, Hank.
Yeah, man.
I don't want
Yeah.
to keep you too long
We
from the
could talk
family.
forever. Me and you will burn through hours.
Oh
So
yeah, of course. Yeah, and then
yeah.
I feel bad because Lola's probably just like, what are those two doing?
No, you're good, man. You're good.
So
Listen, I don't get a chance to help out the folks that have helped me, like you or Dark or Rich, and I mean, there's tons of other people out there as well.
yeah, we got to
And I,
get you on Dark Show. Okay,
yeah,
I'm putting a stamp of
yeah.
approval
I
that I
think
want
I've
to
been
see.
I've been on there. It's just it's so
He
I
doesn't
hate
leave.
well, no, I hate to say this, but life is so freaking crazy
Oh yeah,
that I
no.
don't always have that opportunity, just because like sometimes I don't know if I'm coming or going. It's so crazy.
Yeah, right now
So
you're traveling so much, which is awesome. When you go, so you aren't going to the gathering because you have a van event. What van event are you doing?
I I'm not even sure what it is, but I don't think I'm not even gonna be. Oh, actually, I do know what it is. It's gonna be something with Sunshine State RV,
Oh, okay.
and like a owners group, one of the owners groups that they deal with a nice luxury van. Uh,
Yeah,
what's going on here?
you got a little
Oh,
bit
okay, we're here.
robotic
Yeah.
for you got a little bit robotic for a second.
Oh, okay.
Um,
It's one of those like high end vans, so I've got to do some stuff with them. And I thought I was gonna get one day to go to the gathering. I could like sneak in there in one day, but they're it's like a whole thing. So
hmm,
yeah,
of course.
that's
Well,
what's going on there. Yeah.
well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hank, you always have an open invite. Please, for everyone
Thank
who's
you.
listening right now, go to YouTube, go to Player, go everywhere, and search Hank Strange and subscribe. Check out
Hmm.
the Who Moved My Freedom podcast every Monday on Player, and it's always on YouTube as well. Uh, Great show. I've been on the show. You can search pretty much anybody. They've been on Hank's show. It's a wonderful show. I listen to it every week.
Thank you.
I like to rush home and on Mondays because you drive down 275 and it's like okay.
Somebody's got to listen to it. I'm glad it's you, Joe. I'm glad it's
Yeah,
you.
I try. I do my
You were
best.
doing your laundry and listening to it the other day. I was like, oh
Yes, and
my
I really like to say it was not my fault that Walter fell. I might have had a
okay.
hand into it just because I
Allegedly.
was new. Yeah, allegedly. I would just like to say I helped that man to make sure he did not have to lift. I didn't want him hurting himself anymore, so I took
Yeah.
extra care of you,
Don't kill
Sir
off the
Walter.
boss until my position on the inheritance list of guns is secured. Don't kill the boss off.
I will not kill the boss off. But guys, please do me a favor and go check out Hank Strange on all
Thank you.
social media. He does some great stuff in the gun world and in the band world as well. All his links are in the description on Rumble. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, it will be in the description on YouTube. This podcast is probably going to be on going up on Saturdays now on YouTube for like the non-live version because we can hold guns. I like holding guns on a live
That's
stream.
right. Yeah.
Big thanks to
And
our
thanks, Joe.
sponsors.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks to you, Joe. Thanks to you for all the support you've given to me over the years, man.
No
I
problem,
appreciate
dude.
it.
That. Hey, I help out. I make sure I help the people that got me to where I am today. Big thanks to our sponsors, Aegis Gun Care and Liberty Bell Firearms. Make sure you use code JoJuice at both places. One gets you 20% off your Cerakote and laser stippling, and one gets you 10% off the best lubricant and cleaner in the game. Plus, you get some awesome cleaning mats, merchandise, cleaning supplies, everything at aegisguncare.com. But we all have to get out of here. I have to work tomorrow. I have to be up early. And
Yeah.
as always, stay safe, stay shooting. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.